Hey, what's up? This is Venger Satanis. How's it going? Um, Couple things. I wanted to know basically how weird or traditional do you want or do you like your role playing scenarios? You know, your modules, your adventures, your campaigns. Um, do you like it weird, or do you like it not so weird? You know, more traditional, more I guess conventional fantasy. Some of each. Um, if you were to, you know, dream up a adventure for someone else to write, like myself, what kind of things would you want in it? Like, how weird would you want it to be, and what kind of things would you be interested in seeing or reading or being able to run? So that's the first thing. Second thing, I have no idea. Hopefully, I'll come back to it, or I'll remember a little bit later. The third thing I want to talk about is that, again, I have been asked and agreed to run a introduction to role-playing games like workshop, where people, it's from a meetup, Madison Geekery meetup, and the administrator, the woman that runs it, asked me to do this, and so I said, sure, that'd be cool. Um, so basically, I asked people, total noobs who have absolutely no experience with role-playing games or Dungeons and Dragons or anything, to come out and learn the game and play. It's not just me standing up there teaching with a whiteboard and being like, this is hit points, and you never get to play. You get a little bit of background. Last time I had the makeup characters, which took like an hour and a half. This time I'm just going to use pre-generated characters so we can get to play like immediately. Not immediately, but after 15-20 minutes of basically explaining the ins and outs. So I would ask that other people in the role-playing game community that love this hobby and would like to see it flourish instead of die out, if you have time and the inclination, volunteer, put yourself out there. If there's an opportunity to teach people that have never experienced this before, teach people the ropes, basically what it's all about, and to run a game for people that they might have thought, because Dungeons and Dragons, like Lovecraft and Cthulhu, and whatever else, is out there in popular culture. People are aware of it, even people that aren't geeks or into fantasy or science fiction or whatever. And I think a lot of people would be interested in trying it out, but they have no opportunity. So, just want to reach out there and help you reach, beyond. And if you can help people realize, maybe a dream or fantasy that they have, or inclination, or maybe they're just curious of trying out Dungeons and Dragons or something, or it doesn't have to be that. It could be, it could be like a retro clone, like Dungeon Crawl Classics, or Swords and Wizardry, or Labyrinth Lord, or it could be your favorite horror or science fiction game, like Call of Cthulhu, or I don't know, Cyberpunk, or Traveler, or Star Wars. I use D&D basically because it's the most popular and people have heard of it, and people are like, oh yeah, Dungeons and Dragons, I always wanted to try that and I just never got the chance. Like, well, that was your chance. So that's pretty much it. I guess just those two things. Alright, looking forward to reading your responses, and if you want to do a response video, that'd be awesome. Cool. Yeah, Cthulhu Fatagan.